everybody, it's Mrs. Wright, and I'm noticing that you guys are struggling a little bit with percents. So I wanted to go ahead and go over the lesson that you're going to find in iReady. So let me go ahead and share my screen. I've created a PowerPoint. Hopefully the dog won't start barking, because that's what he does. Okay, so notice that Beth participated in a free throw contest. She took 10 shots and she made 6 of them. Describing the number of baskets, how she did. So let's talk about percent. What percentage of the shots did she get? So we always start off with our fraction, and we learned fractions back in elementary school, and we've talked about them this year. And when we write fractions, we write, let's see how I can do this. We write part, it's not annotating like I want it to. So let me go down here. Goes part over whole. Okay, and that's all a fraction is, right? It's the part, the percentage or the part over how many? What was your whole? What was your goal? So when we have part over whole, looking at the problem, oh my, why did it do that? We'll just start with this one. On Earth Day, 40 people volunteered to work at the city. For cleanup, 10 of the 40 volunteers are high school students. The coordinator wants to know the percentage of volunteers that are in high school. Again, we're starting with the fraction, part over whole. Well, what part are in high school? Well, it tells us right in our problem that 10 of them are in high school. So that is our part out of our whole. Well, there was a total of 40 volunteers. So that is our whole. It's the same as our, that's a terrible 4, but work with me here. Okay, so using my calculator, I can figure out my decimal. This is what we do in school every day. That fraction bar means to do what? Hopefully you are answering. It means to divide. Well, okay, it means to divide. So when I divide 10 divided by 40, I am going to get 0.25. Okay, decimal 0.25. You'll have to work with me here. I need my Bamboo tablet, which I don't have. I can see possibly a future coming. So 0.25. Again, now I want to go from my decimal to my percent. So how am I going to write it as a percent? Well, again, this is what we do in school every day. When I have my percent, or my decimal to get to a percent, all I'm doing is multiplying by 100. So when I multiply by 100, I get 25. 25%. Okay? I would say any questions, you're going to have to text me or ask me. Let's go ahead and move on. I think when I move on, though, oh, it does change. Perfect. Okay. So as part of a science experiment, Ethan recorded the number of days it rained in April. Over the 30 days, it rained 15. He wants to know the percent. So again, let me pick up my pen. My pen didn't pick up. There we go. Okay, so my pen, and again, I'm doing part over whole. Okay. Well, what is my part? It rained 15 days. That is my part. What is my whole? What was the total, the whole? 30. Again, I have a fraction. I know how to go from a fraction to a decimal. I'm simply dividing. When I divide, I will notice that I will get 0.5. Much faster not to use a stylus. Okay, now I need to go from my decimal to my percent. This is why I tell you guys to multiply, because it's not going to be 5%, right? We have to have 2 decimal places. So when we multiply by 100, you will notice that 0.5 times 100 actually equals 50%. So 50% is going to be my answer. Okay, let's look at the next one. Okay, these problems are a little different. Notice we've even changed color. So Rose is earning $120 per week tutoring math. Each week she puts $36 from her paycheck into her bank account. Again, we're looking at part over whole. Oh, I see the problem. I totally see the problem now. Okay, so part over whole. Well, what is my part? My part is 36. And my whole, well, she earns 120. I'm trying to get to 100. That's what I'm trying to get to. So I need to scale up or scale down, or I need to figure out my relationship. Well, both of these are going to be divisible by 4. I can actually do this a couple of times. If I go to 4, that's not going to work. I want to go by 3. That's not going to work either. Quite frankly, what I would do, to tell you the truth, is I would look at to go from 120 to 100, what am I dividing by? So pull up my handy dandy calculator here. If I have 120 divided by 100, I need to go the other way. 100 divided by 120 is, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Okay, let's just start getting something reasonable. So if I divide this in half, that'll be 18 over 60. If I divide that in half, I get 9 over 30. I can divide by 3. I see exactly what I needed to do. I can divide by 3, and I get 3 over 10. Okay, so all I did was divide by 2. Divide by 2 again, and then I divided by 2 again, till I got something that I could work with. I now have 10 to 100. Well, I know that that is a and I divided by 3 here. And I know that this is a multiplication of 10. So what I'm doing on the bottom, I have to also do on the top. So 30 times 10 equals, I'm sorry, 3 times 10 equals 30. So I have 30 over 100. Percent means out of 100. So my percent is going to be my numerator, what is on top of my 100, and that is 30. Now, it's definitely a long way to get there. Now that I'm looking at it after doing it, I could have divided by 12 a lot sooner, but I didn't. And that's okay. You might have to just chunk it. Okay, here we go. They're making soup, miso soup. The recipe calls for 350 milliliters. They want to make a smaller batch of 280. So again, my part over my whole. So part over whole. My part is 280. Notice the numbers are not always in the order in which you read them. You have to think about them. And I'm trying to get all the way to 100. Okay. Actually, what I would do is this is a division problem. Because I'm dividing by 100, I can just move this over twice. And that would get 3.5. So I'm dividing 350 divided by 3.5 to get 100. What I do on the bottom, I have to do on top. So I have to divide by 3.5. So my handy dandy calculator here. 280 divided by 3.5 is going to get me 80. Again, percent is out of 100, so my answer is going to be 80%. I'm pretty sure that that is the last one. Sure is. So if you have any questions about this, I have tutoring on Friday at 11 o'clock. You can also send me an email or call me, and I would be happy to help you out. Give me a call. Let me know. I hope you enjoy this meeting, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye.